As we design the sounds of a game in Wwise, we obviously need to play them as we work. In most cases, we simply use the transport for this, but we must first select the object we want to play. The added step of selecting an object can sometimes be cumbersome when we want to play a lot of related sounds in order to hear how they correlate with each other. For example, in the Cube demo game, there are a lot of weapons of various types that are likely to be heard simultaneously in gameplay. To make it easier to play these sounds and essentially simulate a battle in the game, it's possible to lay out multiple transports, each for a different sound, into a single view. This is accomplished in Wwise using a feature called Soundcaster. Soundcaster is a type of view that's commonly used in cooperation with the mixing desk view. These two views can be seen together in the mixer layout, so go to the main menu and choose Layouts, Mixer. Now we see the Soundcaster view in the lower part of the screen. The first step is to create a preset that we'll use to house the objects that we want to be able to play. This preset is known as a Soundcaster session, and you create it by clicking the selector button in the upper left of the Soundcaster view and choose New. We'll name this Soundcaster session Weapons. We now have an active Soundcaster session, but it currently doesn't contain any playable objects. Adding objects to a Soundcaster session is done by simply dragging them into the Soundcaster view. In this game, all of the weapon sounds are triggered with numerous events that begin with the word fire. So in the event viewer, we'll select the first fire event, hold Shift, and then select the last one. And now we'll just drag them into the Soundcaster session. As we do, we'll see that the area is divided into a grid, and we simply let go where we want the first object to be positioned on this grid. Now we can see that each object is represented with a small version of the transport control. One of the main advantages of Soundcaster is that we have a way we can quickly play various objects, in effect simulating gameplay. Because sounds are allowed to overlap each other, we can feel out how the sounds might blend together during the game. Also, at the top of the Soundcaster view, we can see an area that displays various game syncs, such as states and switches. This provides a fast way to see how sounds might change in reaction to other variables, assuming we've configured them to do so. In this case, we can hear that if we change the player life state to dead, that the sounds become filtered. Watch the tutorial on states to learn how this is accomplished. Also in the top part of the Soundcaster view, there's a Reset All button to bring all of our game syncs back to their default values. Also in the top area is a Stop button. This is useful when you have a sound like this rocket launcher that continues to play until it is stopped. Just click the Stop button and any objects will then stop. We can create as many Soundcaster sessions as we like, customizing each one with the specific items that we need quick access to. For example, the Fire Shotgun Player event triggers multiple sound objects. We can create a Soundcaster session just for shotgun-related sounds. First, go to the selector menu and choose New. We'll call this session Shotgun. Then we can go ahead and add the Fire Shotgun Player event, but then we'll go to the Project Explorer and then move down to the Actor Mixer hierarchy and select all the shotgun-related sound objects, and we'll add them as well. Once in the Soundcaster view, we can rearrange them to our liking. Now, if we play the Shotgun Player event, we can hear the sequence of events, but now we can play the individual objects. Now, you'll notice that we can see properties such as pitch and low pass and volume, and they can be directly modified within Soundcaster. In this case, it sounded like the shells were a little bit low in volume, so we'll go ahead and directly turn up their volume property. Now, if I play the Fire Shotgun Player, that sounds a little better, but we want to hear them in context with all the other weapon sounds. So, if we go back to the selector menu, we can choose Weapons. So now we can hear how the change fits when played along with all of the other sounds.